Hello YouTube. Today we'll be taking a look at the iPhone 12, which I got for a pretty good price. So hang on, let's get to it. So this is the box that it came in. I've already taken a look, but it's uh it's an iPhone 12 thing. All right. So first thing we're gonna do is do a little peel away here. Nice. All right, so this is a used iPhone 12. It looks to be in pretty good condition. There's a tiny little scratch. It looks like right about here. It's pretty hard to see though. As far as just like using the phone, I doubt you'd really even notice. And then the phone has a couple of dings on the frame, the metal frame, a little bit of scuffing, but like that's all going to be covered by a case anyways. And so we're going to get this turned on, take a look at it. I did though. I got this phone used for $270, and I wanted to compare it to the Motorola G84, which it was $250 when I bought it. However, right now you can get it on Amazon for $225. Link in the description below. I do want to make it clear that I am not an Amazon affiliate. I do not get paid to promote or recommend products on Amazon, but I do shop around for phones and different prices on multiple sites, see where the good deals are. And Amazon for phones usually has the best price. The iPhone 12 and the Motorola G84 are pretty close to the same color. The Motorola being a slightly more of a pinkish red, and the iPhone being almost more of an orangish red. The product red um, seems to be slightly more orange. A couple things I wanted to talk about with price point. I already mentioned that the Motorola brand new is $225. You can get these open boxed right now for $165, and I have not seen any used ones for sale yet because it came out fairly recently. This iPhone 12 has 128 gigs of internal storage. On Amazon right now, you can find them for about $315. And Amazon has 6 different colors for that price range. I was able to get this in eBay on an auction for $270, which is $20 more than I paid for this one when it was brand new. There's a couple of used options from 64 gig fair condition all the way up to 128 gig excellent condition that ranges between the 240 and the $315 price range. So that puts us at around most budget tier phones looking in the 200 to just under $300 price range. Some of the things that are very similar with these two phones is they have similar weight. They are only a few grams apart. They both have OLED screens with a similar maximum brightness, 1200 nits for the iPhone 12 and 1300 nits for the G84, which is not a noticeable difference. They both have dual cameras on the back. The Motorola is a 50 megapixel while the iPhone is a 12 megapixel. And then now we'll get into the differences. The Motorola G84 was released in September of 2023, so it's not even a year old yet. The iPhone was released in October of 2020, so it's getting pretty close to being 4 years old. When the iPhone was brand new, it was $799. The iPhone has an IP68 water resistant rating. The Motorola only has an IP54 splash resistant rating. The iPhone has a 2800 milliamp hour battery, and the Motorola has a 5000 milliamp hour battery. If we were to ask, is it worth it in 2024? I would say the iPhone 12 is definitely worth it. If you can pick one up for $250, $260, $270, that's a pretty good price, and you get a really good phone. And we're going to do a spec comparison right after this so that I can prove how good this phone actually is. There are a lot of things that are similar between these two phones, but the two biggest differences are processor and RAM. And I will get to RAM in just a second, but we're going to talk about the processor now. The iPhone 12 has the A14 Bionic, which in 2024 is ranked as the 15th best mobile processor in the world. The Motorola G84 has the Snapdragon 695, which is ranked as the 78th best processor in the world. That gives it a performance grade of C, whereas the A14 Bionic has a performance grade of A. When you do a direct benchmark comparison between the two, the only thing that comes close is efficiency of battery consumption. However, everywhere else, the CPU, the individual cores run faster on the A14 Bionic. The multi-core processes run faster on the A15 Bionic. The graphics performance is better. Games look prettier, run at higher frame rate. Every benchmark test, the A14 Bionic blows this one out of the water. In fact, the Apple competitor to the Snapdragon 695 is the A11 Bionic. And you may ask, what phone came with the A11 Bionic? Well, I'm glad you asked that. The answer is the iPhone 8. So, as far as performance goes, if you compare the A11 Bionic with the Snapdragon 695, they are pretty close to equal. The A11 Bionic gets a few points more for gaming, a few points more for CPU performance. The Snapdragon 695 gets a much better ranking for battery life, and all in all, they are both rated for performance at a C grade. Here's the interesting thing when comparing the Motorola G84, a phone that came out in September of 2023, versus the iPhone 8, a phone that came out in September of 2017. When the iPhone 8 came out, it was $699. The processor that it has in it is now, 7 years later, considered a C tier as far as performance goes, but it's still nothing to laugh at. I have been using the Motorola G84 for the past 3 months, and it works great for daily operations. It has great battery life, it's fast, it boots quickly, it restarts quickly, it launches apps quickly. I even play Call of Duty Mobile on it on a daily basis. I can even play games like Genshin, and it looks decently good. So for a day-to-day use phone, the Snapdragon 695 is perfect. It's reliable, it's battery efficient, it works great. The second biggest difference between these two phones, after the processor, with the iPhone 12 having a far superior processor, is RAM. The Motorola G84 has 12 gigs of RAM. The iPhone 12 has 4 gigs of RAM. The Motorola G84 has 3 times as much RAM. Here's the thing as far as future proofing, right? This phone has a better processor that'll probably last longer. This phone will be getting security updates until 2027. iPhone 12 will be getting security updates until 2027, but it is speculated that iOS 19 in 2025 will be the last software update. So the iPhone 12 is a good option if you want an iPhone, but you're on a budget in 2024, and you will continue to get security updates for 3 more years till 2027. The one caveat, the one thing that I think that buyers should be aware of is that with 4 gigs of RAM that this model has, it's not going to support Apple AI. Even the G84 right now, a phone that Motorola calls a mid-tier phone at a budget tier price, it has a few AI features built in, and in the future, Motorola can update this phone with Motorola AI after their brand new models that are going to come with Motorola AI native to the phone, just like the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has Samsung AI, and iPhone is releasing the 16s with Apple AI. Basically, with 12 gigs of RAM, the G84 will be able to run AI. The iPhone will not be able to use Apple AI in the future, so iOS 18, which is coming out for the iPhone 16, will have Apple AI, but the iPhone 12, while it will be updated to iOS 18, will not be able to use that feature, unfortunately.